Okay guys, now let's move to the backend part where we will be programming our server. So first of all, we need to receive from the server all the requests in order to show these requests inside our application. So just to test the SQL query, I'm going now to phpMyAdmin panel. First, we'll write the SQL query manually, then we'll implement it in the programming language. Okay, so I have a requests table, and here are the user number 2 is our user, which is Jennifer Lawrence. And 1, 2, 3, 4 requests she's having from user ID 1, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, users 1, 3, 4, and 5, they are Bradley, Daniel Craig, Nicole Kidman, and Jackie Chan. They have sent a request to our beloved, let's say, Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, excellent. Let's now write a manual SQL query here. We're going to the SQL section, and first want to check, is our SQL command gonna work or not? So first we'll write select. Then we want to select user's ID. What we want to do actually, whenever we'll see, let's say these are requests, we want to load all the user information and from based on the ID who sent a request. So for example, user ID 1 sent a request to the user ID 2. So we want to load all the user information of user ID 1. Okay, this is what we will now implement. So we are writing select user's ID, we need his ID, comma, then users, we need his first email, comma, then we need users dot first name, comma, then we need users dot last name, comma, then we need users dot birthday, comma, then we need users dot, let's say, gender, comma, then we need users dot ava, comma, then we need users dot cover, comma, then we need users dot bio, comma, then we need users dot date created. Okay, and we want to select from requests. Yes, absolutely, from requests. Want to select this information from requests, and then we want to left join requests, left join requests, left join users on requests dot user ID will be equals to users dot ID, where requests dot friend ID equals, as an example, to this ID of Jennifer Lawrence, and that's it. So this is the SQL query. So we want to select his, for example, Bradley Cooper's ID, email, first name, last name, etc. We are selecting it from requests because, let's say, in our requests, let's say we have only, let's say, 3 requests. So that's why from requests. If we'll use here from users, it will select all the users. So that's why we are selecting from requests. And we are joining requests and users table where ID of these two sections are equal, where requested is, let's say, user under ID2. Friend is always the one who got targeted. Friend is the one who got targeted, in our case Jennifer Lawrence, because she has several friend requests. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll click go. Here we go. So we have a Bradley Cooper, Daniel Craig, Nicole Kidman, Jackie Chan. All these 1, 3, 4, 5. These IDs 1, ID 3, ID 4, and 5. In request, we see them 1, 3, 4, and 5. So everything works fine. Then we're now going to the NetBeans development environment, and we will write here a one function, which will be function select requests. Open and close round bracket, and then open curly bracket. In the round bracket, we'll declare parameters, which is ID, which will be limit, and which will be offset. Okay, very good. So first we will create a variable SQL equals to, then quotation marks, and let's insert our newly written SQL query. So I'll just align it like that. And this friend ID, I will replace it with a variable ID. And we are not done here yet. Because here what we need to do is we need to implement offset as well. So limit will be our limit and the offset will be our offset. And here we put semicolon at the end. Okay, brilliant. So since we have written the SQL command, now we will prepare this command for execution. Statement will be equals to this connection prepare our SQL query. Very good. Then we'll check it for having any errors. If round brackets, then curly brackets. In the round brackets, we'll write a statement, then exclamation before the statement, which means false. If statement is false, then throw new exception. And inside the round brackets, we refer to the error of the statement. Statement, arrow, error, semicolon at the end. Okay, after that, we want to execute this SQL. Statement, arrow, execute, semicolon at the end. And then we want to get the results of this query. So statement, arrow, get results of this query. And we want to assign this function's result to the new variable, which is result. Okay, great. And now out of every result which we have got, for example, these are the results. We want to get every single parameter, every single row. So for that, we'll use while loop. Okay, so we'll use while loop, while, then we have a round brackets, then open curly brackets. In the round brackets, we'll write while raw, it's a new variable, will be equals to result arrow fetch associated row. So it means fetch every single associated row and assign it to the new variable, which is raw. Okay, then return open and close square brackets equals row. So this row will be concatenated to the variable return, which we'll just declare now. Okay, and then we want to return our return variable, semicolon at the end. Okay, right at the top of the function, we will have to declare return array right here. Here we'll declare return array. So we write return equals array opening close round brackets and semicolon at the end. Okay, so this function is done. This function selects all requests of the user, which is, let's say, ID. This is what it does. Here we are declaring array to store all info of requested or of users who sent requests. SQL command to select all users who sent requests. Here we are prepare SQL for execution. Check if there are any errors. Here we are executing SQL command, execute SQL command. Here we are getting all results of SQL command and assigning them to result variable. And here we are fetching every row of entire result we got. Here we are returning the return array. Okay, brilliant. So that is the function, and we're now going to the friends.php. So here we will write one more scenario. We will write one more scenario, which will be, for example, something like requests. So here I'm going to the last closure. Here we have a different scenarios where the action is search, action is add, which means send a request, reject the request, and here will be one more scenario, else if, then in the round brackets we write, again we put double round, look, okay. If statement in PHP always must be in the round brackets. So in the round brackets we make a reference $_request, then in the square brackets we'll write action will be equals to, let's say, requests. This will be our new action. And that one is, we need to consider it as being a string, so it's just a good practice to put this in the round brackets. So this now will be considered as a one variable. Else if the action will be requests, then we will process the scenario for selecting all the users. So first of all, we need to check is here we need ID limit and offset. We need to check are they set or not. So we already have written somewhere here. So for the search, so we have the same parameters, but here we have additional name. I'll just copy this block. I will copy this one where we're checking do we have these parameter passed to this file or not. Okay, so here we inserted this. I will remove name because name is used to search the user and we don't need them. I will just select starting from the exclamation mark till the exclamation mark. Okay, here we're writing if ID is not set, which exclamation mark means not, and this one means or limit is not set, or offset is not set, then throw the message missing required information. Now we need to cast these variables and assign them to the to new variables. Okay, I'm going up to the search one and I will copy these three last variables where we assign them. Assign received information to the variables, and I will insert it here. This is secure way of assigning received information to PHP variables. Okay, so now we can call our function, which is access arrow select requests ID limit and offset. We've got ID limit and offset. This is run function to select requests. And I want to assign the outcome of this function in access.php. Do you see we are returning the return array, which is storing all the users. So I want now to access this value. I can do it by writing, let's say, requests equals to the result of this function. Don't forget semicolon at the end, guys. Okay, and now we'll consider different scenarios. If round brackets and then curly brackets, if let's say requests, so then we want to assign requests. Else means this is an error. Okay, requests selected successfully. Here will be failed to select requests. Okay, so if the request selected successfully, so here we want to return open and close round brackets, then single quotation marks or double quotation marks as you want. Requests will be equals to requests. Same like here for the users. And for the else method, we'll write here return open and close square brackets, then in the single quotation marks, status will be 400, which means an error, and then we want to throw back the message return square brackets, then single quotation marks, message will be equals to could not select requests. Okay, and semicolon at the end, or we can, yeah, so like that. Okay, so I'll save these both PHP files. I'm going now to my browser. And what I want is actually I want now to execute this query. So I'll write in the new tab localhost fb friends question mark action equals to requests and ID equals 2. because as you see in this tab, all requests sent to the Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence she's having the ID 2. So friend is the one who got targeted by somebody. So mean user is the current user. Okay, so friend is these people send a request to that person. Okay. So here I will write limit, 100, and offset will be 0. Offset means skip, limit means limit the first selection of the row, so we say 100. And I will click enter, and everything return fine. So we can validate it. So you can copy this and you can go validate JSON, and that one is the JSON validator. And we'll just insert it here. We'll click validate JSON. Everything is valid. So first ID is the Bradley Cooper. So his email Bradley, first name Bradley@mail.com, first name Bradley, last name Cooper, etc., etc. Then we have a Daniel Craig. Then we have got Nicole Kidman, and then we must have a Jackie Chan. Here we go. So we have everyone here. So that is beautiful. In case if you're having some error here, just pause the video and make sure that your select request first of all is written correctly, that you didn't miss any semicolons at the end, and that you didn't do any spelling mistakes in your code. Just pause the video and make sure this. And everything is fine with the access.php. Go to the friends.php. Just verify this block of code. So what we're doing here, we are considering one more scenario, which if the action, let's say, requests, then it will execute this code. So we have a different action in the one PHP file, like reject, etc., etc. So if the action, for example, if the action, let's say, requests, then we want to check if is ID, limit, and offset passed to this variable, to this PHP file. Let's say if I will remove offset, it will tell me missing required information because offset it did not receive. If everything is passed, then we're assigning ID, limit, and offset to the separate variable, which is ID, limit, and offset, using the secure method, which called SQL injection, so no one can hack us. Then after this, we are running the function from the access.php, the function called select all requests, and we are passing these three variables to this function here, because these parameters are used in the function. Okay, so after running this, we're assigning all of the result of this to the request variable. As you see here at the end, we're fetching every single row and assigning it to row. And we're returning the return array by appending every single row which we got fetched. And then as a requests, under the key requests, we're returning all of this. If it could not select, so then we're throwing back the message. So this is the main logic of this. It's super professional, it's super easy and super simple. We're not writing the complicated codes, we're writing professional and very good and amazing codes. Okay guys, so here we're done with the selecting requests. Now let's go further.